Stop listening to Podcast Topless. We're Shiny Brand products that are so comfortable you'll think you're topless. Check out shinybrandproducts.com.
We're throwing it back.
20 years, baby.
Let's talk about the movie instead.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's much. I mean, it is better.
Okay, so I'm not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan.
Even though his name is way too much fun to say.
It is. It's really fun to say. I saw an interview a very, very long time ago, maybe when this even came out or before, I don't know. But I was like super turned off by it, by him, what he was saying. It was a long form interview or whatever. And so I was just like super turned off by it. I think he's an incredibly creative person.
Yes,
clearly.
Yeah.
But he cannot end a movie well to save his life.
No.
I would say that Signs is the only one that he ended that was like, okay.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie gave me nightmares. As some people may know.
And he's good at that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my point, right? He can bring you right up to a certain point, but then the way it closes and ends is just, it's never been very good.
Yeah.
And this one is okay.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know.
But anyway, we're in a throwback, as you already know. You saw the beginning, but
2002, baby.
This is our last throwback for 2002s.
Yes.
So now that we're actually technically in 2013.
And 2003 was so much better.
2013. You didn't even catch it, did you?
No. I don't know what's going on.
I better be careful throwing numbers out at you.
Yeah, well, numbers are just that.
2023, we'll be doing more 2003 throwbacks. People have been responding well to these.
Good.
I'm trying to get the scheduler figured out, too, on the website for the audio.
Okay.
Some of them I've gotten right. Some of them I don't. So hopefully by the time, another couple of weeks go by, I'll figure it out.
That's right.
But I have a scheduler on the website.
Yeah.
Built into the website for the audio to
release.
You can't just sit there and upload everything and do it. And,
I mean, you have to have a life outside of things.
But anyway, I've kind of blown it on that. A couple of them just didn't launch.
Yeah.
They're sitting there waiting. Uncharted's in there right now. By the time this is out,
it will be charted.
It's charted. But, so I know Mel Gibson, since this movie, it's kind of had his ups and downs, and Joaquin Phoenix as well. But in this film back then, I mean, you were around, but you certainly didn't watch it back then.
I don't remember when I first watched it. All I remember was this is one of the first thriller movies that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I had major regrets throughout the rest of my life seeing the movie. And again, the thing that this movie does well is it doesn't show the aliens much.
Right.
And so it really builds that suspense of what is on the other side, or what really does it look like, and which makes it a lot easier to do jump scares.
Yes.
Which I'm not a fan of. I don't like being scared. I don't like
What was funny though, or what was fun about this movie were some of the funny scenes that were just so off the wall, that made them funny.
Right.
Like, the preacher, the pastor.
Yeah.
When he was quote unquote cussing.
Yeah.
And they were running around the house and stuff, and some of those were that was fun.
Yep.
Some of the things like how they tied things together, were kind of cool too in this film. The aliens at the end, kind of being that camouflage skin.
And they did a good slow progression of it wasn't this guy saw aliens, immediately everyone believed him. It was like a slow progression of we're experiencing some things we can't explain. It's slowly becoming more and more, and then they finally got a shot of whatever the alien thing was.
Right.
And so it was a nice progression of really building that suspense of what is going on and getting everyone to buy into it.
Yeah. Like globally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really happy that finally we were able to explain the crop circles.
Yeah. As a kid, I was fascinated by it. I watched a lot of History Channel, and History Channel back in the day to me was these weird documentaries of the Seven Wonders and aliens and this, that, and the other thing. And so I, as a kid, watched even Ghost Adventures. Super interesting to me because and again, I don't like suspense, but for whatever reason, I like seeing people spooked out of their minds for things that they can't explain.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that helped me going into this film because I was like, I'm already iffy of like, I don't know what's real and what's not.
Right. No, that makes sense. Obviously the crop circles, whatever. That's a myth that.
Hence signs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was played off very well.
Yep.
How they did all these things. I don't know. I don't know how M. Night Shyamalan has been able to make and produce so many movies. Did they even make any money on most of them? I think Signs made money.
I think it's Signs.
But you know what I mean?
Not sure the other ones.
Some of the other ones, I can't even think, like Lady of the Lake or something.
Well, surprisingly, I don't watch a lot of his films.
Yeah,
typically.
I don't either. I haven't seen
I
that
think
one.
his most recent was that old one where they're on a beach and they get old, right?
The Last Airbender.
Oh, he did. Oh, that's right. He did The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
That movie was awful.
Yeah, it was terrible. I like how they told the story.
I don't like.
You know how the story was told about the Airbender?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like how that was done in that movie, but nothing else was any good. But what were some other ones? I mean,
yeah.
But I just don't know how
you can continue to fund
it. Yeah. Is kind of my point. I mean, nobody saw. I mean, everybody knows who he is because of how bad he flopped.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Where they grow old? No, I don't. I guess what was that?
I don't know. There was a movie I think the last year called Old.
Okay.
And all I remember is the trailer where they're on the beach and they go into the water and either their body goes old or a skeleton. I never saw the movie, so I don't actually know what it is.
Could be completely making up your own movie right now.
That's right. T. Night Shyamalan.
Shaman Tyler.
I would eat ramen with my shaman.
Sure. Here, let me give you a cup. Yeah, I don't know. It's
definitely, this movie is definitely worth watching.
He does his cameos too in all of his movies, but yeah.
Out of all the films, this is the one you should watch. It's very good. Interesting story.
Good. It really is.
Great pacing, great suspense. I really did like how they if you look at costume design of how they did the aliens, really enjoyed the vagueness to really peek into that fear factor side.
Yeah. And the stealth ships that they had in this were great.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. This was 2002.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the effects were simple. It was pretty simple effects, but the way they executed and developed it in the film was phenomenal.
Absolutely. You have questions? LegitQ.
At Matty'sMovieMix.com.
Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.